In a world full of people who think life is a happy series of coincidences and trust the official narrative, some of us know better. Tales of Stonehenge, dogmen, chemtrails, and more. All of this we will explore in the Seany Zone.
What up, people?
What's going on? What's up, Shawnee? Welcome, everybody, to the Seany Zone. How's everybody doing tonight on this Monday night? What's going on, bro?
I hope they're good, because this could be the last day that you're good.
Hi-oh.
I'm not trying to scare you all, but the world is fucked up. Have you noticed?
A little bit.
Crazy place, Bobby. You've seen it, right?
I see little evidence of that every day, man. Yeah.
We've got ourselves some craziness that's been going on, folks. We've got the Russia versus Ukraine war going on. If anyone hasn't seen that in the news or all over Twitter, TikTok, or whatever the fuck ever, I think an angel got its wings.
I think that's what that is.
We got excuse me. China is dying to invade Taiwan. We've got spy balloons. I mean, we've got there's the cellular outages. We've got banking outages, which they still haven't proven weren't hacking situations. So that makes me nervous. We've got the trigger strike, the political conflict over Trump, which is fucking ridiculous. We've got there's impending, and plus you've got solar storms supposedly that brought down the cellular phones. You've got there's a million things going on. I'm sure I can't bring them all up right now because my mind is full of so many things. So what do we need to do? We need to prepare, folks. And I felt bad after the last show. Like I should have brought this up last week to give you guys more time. But I don't know if any of you prep, if there's anyone that's into trying to prepare themselves for any. Hey, Bobby, you're back.
I'm back. We're all back. Yeah.
You know, I was at no loss of words.
No, you weren't, bro.
But I was just saying to the folks that we need to prep. We need to prepare for uncertain times.
All that.
The grid could go down. Solar flares or EMPs or hackers, terrorists could bring any of that down. We've got like storms, hurricanes, tsunamis. Any of these things can bring down, can isolate you and leave you needing assistance. Let's say.
Yeah.
So, Bobby, how prepared are you? Is what I want to know.
Well, that's what I was telling you, bro. Like, there's so many levels of preparing him. Compared to some of the stuff that we're going to talk about tonight, I'm probably very low on it. I'm like just basically, I might have a couple weeks of food left because I have like a decently stocked pantry, but I'm not one of these like overly paranoid, I got to have this much of this and that much of that, guys. So I'm kind of like on a very basic level of preparation. I probably have batteries. I probably have enough food to last me a week or two or something, but I'm not like some of the stuff we're going to talk about tonight.
Okay. All right, no, but that's good. FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency,
Hmm.
wants you to at least have 3 days, is what they say to have, which
Hmm.
is ridiculous. But I mean, 3 days is better than nothing. I'm not going to lie to you, but realistically, when the shit really hits the fan, you're going to need more than 3 days worth.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, if the power grid were to go out, so let's just discuss.
Okay.
What is a cataclysmic or shit hits the fan event? You could have the grid go down, and that could be from an EMP, which is an electromagnetic pulse, which either of those that could come from either a nuclear strike over the U.S. above the U.S., not on the U.S.
Hmm.
EMPs are created during a nuclear strike. When they land on the ground, it's shortwave. If
Hmm.
you if you detonate the nuke above the Earth, it is a much wider effect. It rains down on the Earth instead of trying to get across all the terrain that we have on Earth. Solar flares could take down the grid. Also, in an EMP, it's an EMP like event. Look back to 1895, the Carrington event. There were at the time, the U.S. the only technology that we had was the telegraph, which
Right.
wires were strung from town to town to town, and there was solar flare, excuse me, so strong that it caused these things to light on fire. People got shocked when they touched the machine. They were getting
Wow.
zapped,
Wow.
and there were
Hmm.
things burned up because it was so strong. If something like that went, excuse me,
That's all right. I think so much of our
if
life
something
is wrapped around these satellites and all of these systems, Shawnee. I don't think we
technology,
realize
yeah.
how precarious of a situation that we're kind of in. Where, like you said, just a simple electromagnetic pulse or a solar flare from the sun can really affect our society in some adverse ways.
Well, indeed, we've so dependent on tech, and the tech just keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller
Hmm.
to the point where it's frail. So an EMP type of event is going to affect our cell phones, computers, cars, the grid, because all of your transformers and things that are on the lines, on the poles outside your house, they're all going to short out.
So, Shawnee,
And
let's
so
So about the prepping lifestyle, because all right, my earliest thoughts of preppers were like, I think a lot of people thought, oh, those are those crazy people, those are those like wacky people that think the world's going to end every other day. And now that the world has changed a bit, and we see the delicacy, the delicate balance, I think now that preppers are more seen as, at least in my eyes, as like, oh, well, they're kind of on top of things. They're kind of normal, if you will, or close to normal. And what is your experience with prepping? What's your level of prepping? Since you asked me mine, I'm curious of your level of prep, bro.
one of my keys is to never divulge never give away your full scope of what you have, whether
Man,
it be
good point.
food, guns, whatever. Don't divulge it.
Good point.
You can give away a little bit and talk about it, but never tell everybody what you've fully got,
Mm-hmm.
because then you're a mark. You know what I mean? You tell
Yep.
somebody, oh, I have 8 grand in the bank, and they go,
Yeah.
oh, I know I can still 8 grand from this
Exactly.
fool.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, you know what I mean? 8 grand is just a term to use, but there's I'm never gonna tell you exactly what I have.
That's wise, man. I
I
wasn't even
have
trying to
I
make that a trick question, bro, but you kind of answered it perfect, because in some of the research that we did for the show, you find that that's a thing where these people are like, look, these people might think they're my friends, but when, like the term we hear, when the shit hits the fan, the friendship kind of stuff is all going to kind of melt to the side. I think, it's kind of going to fade away, if you will.
there's okay, let me back up.
Okay.
Yes, that is true, Bobby. You are correct. I want to give you the props on that. Yes, that friendships and relationships can go south. The important thing is to keep. I mean, I'll jump right to this right now, but a community of people that you can use is definitely an important thing. You know, you want to keep if you know somebody that's a nurse or doctor, that's somebody good to reel into your
In your little
group.
set. Yeah.
Your group. Somebody that hunts. You want to reel them. Fishermen hunt. You know, you want to be able to have a give and take. And you want a group that is like-minded, so you have to really feel people out and, you know, discuss the stuff at length without giving up your full
the whole situation.
You don't want to give away the goose, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That was a smart answer you gave me. Absolutely, bro. That's probably should have been my answer.
But so there's an important part of this is okay. So when do you know that it's like a crisis? You know, like when do you know like that shit is hitting the fan? You want to keep tabs on what's going on. So like, say you're in your car and your car dies, and you see somebody else and their car dies, and somebody else's car dies all at the same time. That's a sign that it's on. Game is on, and your cell phone won't work. You know what I mean? Like there's some telltale signs, or if like one bank crashes, no cell phones work, internet's down. You know, and you know what I mean? Like there's some certain things that you want to keep in mind as to when do I start to act on this? Because if you wait too long, you've already kind of missed a window. Because when shit goes down, people the first day it's going to be kind of it's fun. It's like, oh, there's no work today.
Like a snow day, right?
Yeah, it's a snow. Exactly, it's like a snow
free day.
Snow day. Everyone's woo. I can stay home and drink today, whatever. And it's like, but the point is, there's stuff that you should really get on top of when you realize that shit's going down. So another thing to think about is what are you going to prep for? And it's like, are you going to prep for a grid collapse? Are you going to prep for an invasion? Are you going to? There's different ways to kind of prep.
So many levels to this
within that world. Yeah. You also have to ask, who are you going to prep for? If somebody in your family needs certain medications to stay alive, if they're on blood pressure medication or insulin, you have to make an arrangement for that. To like, I need to make sure that I have this for somebody that I love, that I want to keep them alive as long as I can until society returns, if it ever does. You know what I mean? Like,
right?
Yeah. So I mean, so one of those things that you have to be prepared to do right off the rip is you know what I mean? Like everybody thinks, oh, I'm gonna go rob the shoe store and get a big TV and whatever. Fucking useless. I mean, shoes could be useful,
right?
But going to your Walmart and you're gonna steal TVs and
I think I'd be going for food and anything I could feel that I could use to survive before I went for the TVs and the stuff like that.
The number one thing is you want to go to your drugstore. You want to go to a pharmacy and get whatever drugs that you or your family needs, and even something that you can use down the road as barter. Like Bobby said, you want to get whatever you can to like propel whatever you have. If you have, hi Bobby.
Sorry, not sure what's happening tonight.
It's the government.
They were trying to demand.
They want to shut us down. Yeah,
I'm trying to make a point. They trying to shut us down. I got it, Sean. So,
I was saying that you want to go to the drugstore first. That should be your first stop. You should already have enough food and things. You don't have to get into a fight at the store at the grocery store that you need to put yourself in harm's way for that. The drugstore is a place where you can get the drugs that you or somebody you need, somebody you love needs, or even just stuff that is there that you can use down the line to barter, like you were saying.
Yeah, so now are we talking about prep before the point, or are we talking about after shit goes down? You say rather than
as shit's going down.
As shit's going down, these are the places to go to. You're right. These are why you'd go for medicine rather than go for the Walmart and the shoe stuff. Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, in my preps, I have shoes. I have shoes that fit me. I have multiple pairs of shoes because who knows if you're down for a year, 18 months, 2 years, your shoes are going to wear out. And you're gonna need something else to wear. So, that's something to think about, Yeah,
you definitely have to rethink like every aspect of how you're going to live life. Like you said, you normally would just go to the pharmacy, but that's got to be one of the harder things to manage and maintain because like drugs have expiration dates and have difficulty. You can't just buy them over the counter necessarily.
There's a major difference between expiration dates and best buy dates.
Yeah, that's a good point. And in a situation like that, you're going to probably use every medicine you have for its full worth, till it's gone.
A drug that says it expires, a year later. What that actually means is that drug is less effective.
Right. Not that it won't work or that it's not
going to turn on you. It's not going to kill you.
Right.
Whatever. Right. It just might be 90% instead of 100%. You know what I mean? And then as you go down the line, if it's 2 years old, 3 years old, it might be 70%, it might be 50%, but it's still better than nothing.
What do you think about? Do you think it's disturbing lately because a lot of municipalities are getting away from physical cash, Sean? And what do you think about that? If we have a power grid situation where everything goes down, financial systems collapse. We're going to have to rely on cash and barter. So I think it's important to always have physical cash on hand.
Yeah, it absolutely is. You should have. My suggestion is at least $1,000 in small bills, 20s, stored away somewhere in your house, in a safe somewhere or whatever. I have like junk silver, like old silver coins, some gold stuff, like trinkets and things, stuff you can that will hold its value because cash is only going to last for so long. Cash will work as long as people believe in it.
If people use it, if there's a need for it, because if it ends up being a barter system and cash isn't a player in it, then cash might be a moot point. It might be a strictly all barter system.
Cash will probably work for the first few weeks. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then once people start to lose faith that things are going to come back,
right?
Cash is going to be it loses, it dips, it dives,
right?
Gold, silver, like the precious metals and jewels and things, they're going to retain some. It's going to be useful. You know what I mean? And one of the big things. So as I was saying, you could if you're rating a drugstore, drugs could be things. And I don't even mean drugs like street drugs. I mean, like, like heart pills or whatever. Somebody might need some of these things that you can find that might come into play down the line. Cigarettes and booze. Those are things that people will want at some point. And like, I don't hoard those things. I don't stockpile those. I have some. Right. But I don't stockpile those things like in mass because when shit hits a fan, I want to be on point. I don't want to be drunk.
I think that's a really good point that you make, and I've learned something from doing this too. And the barter system is going to be real important. And they talk about how alcohol is probably going to be, better than cash. And they do say that you should get things that you have no desire for. Those are the best things to barter. If you're not an alcoholic or if you're not a smoker, get alcohol and cigarettes. Get things that you don't like, but other people will like. That's the key.
Load up on crack. Is what
there you go. I gotta give you a laugh on that one. Yeah, crack. That'll get you everything. That'll get you through any pinch.
Yeah,
good old crack.
But So you also have to decide if you're gonna bug in or you're gonna bug out, which means are you gonna try to fortify where you are, your home, and try to last it out there, or
Yeah.
do you have somewhere that you can go that you can make a bid or attempt at? Like if you own land somewhere else and you've already got a camp there and you've got supplies there, and so now you're trying to get there.
Hmm.
And if it's an EMP attack and your car's down, then you can't drive there. Like you have to be able to walk there. Which if it's a 3 hour drive by car and you're trying to get you and your 3 kids there, I mean that's a tall task. So you have
So
to be
talk.
realistic about what your goals are for the long haul.
Yeah, I've learned that there are some people that like just stay down and hunker and like fortify and stay where they're at, and some people do more want to be more mobile. They don't want to be the sitting duck. So there's so many levels, and everybody has a different plan on this, Shawnee. But I was going to show you where this one set of preppers thinking along the terms of bugging out. They didn't trust their vehicle. They wanted the ability to bug out, and so they didn't trust the level of protection in their vehicle. So this is some of the extremes that some of these preppers will go through to prepare their vehicle in the event that they might need it. Here we go, Andy. We can share this. Right, check this out.
In Central Oregon, Kurt and his family believe they have everything a prepper family could need, except a fail-safe way to bug out.
I started looking for a vehicle that'd be able to get me through any kind of broken down traffic, bad situation, possible people trying to, overtake your car, take your gas, whatever, and this would be the perfect rig to do that in.
To begin executing his plan,
I'll try to clip through it a little bit. Let's go through here.
I mean, it's a sweet ride to start with.
Start tearing it apart for starters. Let's do this.
So yeah, they're going to make a bug out vehicle. It's got like 2 foot of clearance, Shawnee, so it can do off-road capabilities.
Okay.
But you'll see. I don't want to play it its entirety, but
bumper, mirrors, and door guards. The entire body of the vehicle will be encased in a steel exo cage to protect him in a rollover, because Kurt expects road conditions after an economic collapse to fall into disrepair and become hazardous.
So little exo roll cage.
Okay.
And then I'll fast forward a little bit so we don't have to play everything. Let's see. Got the roll. Oh, but then he's going to put the armor door. Now check this out.
Fuck yeah! Come on.
It adds some weight to it. Check this shit out.
Oh, it's going to add some weight. Yeah.
Next, Kurt wants to add armor plates and weld them seamlessly to the body of the SUV, which will create an impenetrable barrier against small ballistics.
We're cutting each piece of the steel custom to each door and panel of the car and welding it on.
We got 5 more of these to go.
Pay for this?
We got the back doors and the...
Well, like you said, there you go. He has his crew. I noticed that's a theme too, Shawnee. Like some people know that they can't do these big bug out operations by themselves. So they have to pull in a medic person, ex-military and stuff. I think they said that those plates would add approximately 4,000 pounds to that vehicle, Shawnee. So, top speed of 60 miles an hour. So that's just one example of the example you gave of someone who's going to roll out prep as far as like staying hunkered in a bunker.
Yeah, that's I have to ask that shop that used a 4-way wrench to get his lug nuts off. I mean, come on, like that's kind of
Shawnee's picking apart their automotive capabilities. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust them.
Okay.
But
maybe
I love the idea though. That was cool. But yeah, the thing's gonna be bad on gas, and it's gonna sink in the mud. If you hit any mud, you are probably doomed.
Yeah.
But I like the idea because if you're staying on paved roads, you're gonna get through a lot of shit. You can just barrel through things. You know what I mean? If they have logs or cars or whatever in the way, just smash through it. Fuck it, right?
I think it has double the clearance of a standard truck, like 2 feet as opposed to about 12 inches there, Shawnee. So, yeah.
Yes, I love it. So some of the things that you want to keep in mind, the way I see it, there's three phases of what you want to do to prepare. The first thing you want to do is you want to stockpile, which means you want to like get a bunch of food. You want water. You want your medical supplies and goods, like meaning clothings. You want your like even just think about this, just like clothespins. If you want to dry your clothes, shit's gone down. You have no way to really wash them, but in the stream or in the rain or whatever. And
Wow.
and then you have to dry your clothes. You need a clothesline and you need some clothespins.
Wow.
You're not going to the store to buy clothespins, so load up.
It's really
You know what
about
I mean?
just going back to the fundamentals of living, Shawnee. Just the very basics, isn't it? Just,
Absolutely, it absolutely is. Food. So, as far as food goes, as far as long-term food goes, there are some foods that never expire. I mean, never is pretty
Twinkies?
close.
No. I heard this one.
Probably, yeah. Those would, I think those would last through most anything.
Mm-hmm.
But so you got salt. If it's properly stored, this is salt, sugar, honey. You got canned meats, white rice, dry pasta, dry beans, canned fruits and vegetables, alcohol, rolled oats, and powdered milk are all things that can last definitely if they're stored correctly, which I'll get into. So those are some of the things that you want to like think about. Piling water is a big one. Bottled is good for short term. And I'll get into the next part of that. But defensively, you want to think about like where happens. You want to talk about like guns and ammo. You want to talk about bows and arrows, crossbows and bolts. You want to talk about throwing knives, throwing stars, slingshots, blowguns, mace, booby traps. You want to talk about fortifying your home. You want to, if that's where you're staying, or if you wherever you're going to go, you want to be able to fortify that as well. Bobby, I was just saying, guns and bows and arrows and things.
Oh yeah.
Are some of the things you want to defensively think about. So first is stockpile. Second is defense. You wanted to be able to defend
Defending
yourself.
it. Yes.
And I brought up like throwing knives and stars, crossbows. And you know what? I want to say this too. Crossbows, I may or may not have one, but I would like to say that on the Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon easily would reload it with like one hand and one foot as he's laying in the mud and like shoot another. It's not that fucking easy. I'll tell you that
bullshit
much.
on the crossbow use there.
Bullshit. They fucking make it look so easy. Those things have a pull of like 90 plus pounds. The one I've may or may not have is like 9.
That's what if you had one. If you know,
yeah.
If you even have one.
Got it. But so, anyways, I laughed every time I saw him shooting it. And then he would never go get it too. So, but the other phase of when you stockpile, you want to think about is production. So you want to think about like gardening, hunting, fishing, water purification, livestock, any of that stuff that's going to propel you beyond just I have to eat canned meats, but like I can actually thrive in this world.
Yeah, you could you could sustain
you know
it. You could probably feed and barter with other people, and as long as they don't come and try to do the attack thing, like you said, and just try to take your thing.
Right.
But yeah, if you have like a system, you could also possibly provide food for people. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like you have to think there's the short term where you have to stockpile and defend, And then you have to also produce, because eventually, no matter how much you stockpile, eventually you're going to run out of your canned foods and, everything. Or you might get robbed, and here's the thing too, don't keep everything in the same fucking place. Stash it all over. You don't want to keep all your food and all your guns and all your seeds and everything all in the same place, because if somebody finds it there, you're done. Goodbye. Game over.
Yeah, Shawnee. When I was doing some research for this, I saw that some families have multiple bug out locations. They have stashes of medicine, supplies, and guns in multiple directions, so they can literally go in any direction of their house and they can go to a spot. I mean,
that's the way to do it. If you've got the land and the space and the cash to get it done, that's beautiful. I love it. I think I had seen a super chat go by, and it was interesting, but I never got to read the whole thing. I wanted to read that.
There's lots of chats in there. We appreciate all the chat got going on tonight.
There's a lot of chatter going on,
yeah,
but
man.
there was one that was blue that I'd seen that it went by that I did not
They
get
always
to
catch
read
your
the
attention.
BF, that's what it was. BF, would you barter Bud for some canned goods?
All depends on what I got and what you got. Yeah, I don't know. Be hard to part with the weed, but that's a good one for somebody. If you're like a smoker or somebody like that, that's a good thing, and that's something that's sustainable. That might be my angle there, Shawnee. I'm gonna be the weed guy. And shit hits the fan.
And that's a newer thing. So like that's another thing. I didn't even have that on my list, but that's a good point. You know what I mean? That's one of those things with the alcohol that somebody might want some weed to get a little toke and forget the world's gone by. Get protein powder, portable, useful. Know how to find and extract water. Have a camelback.
Money
backpack. Money will be useless. Tom,
probably at some point. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. Camelbacks. I mean, okay, that's fine. If that's how you prefer to drink it, I mean that is easier to hide on you, but yeah.
So, Shawnee, I have a list right here of some of the bartering items that they say you should probably have on hand. Let's check this out. Look at this. Number 1, alcohol, of course. Bartering items. Got to have some alcohol. You already brought this up. Cigarettes. So you're already on point with this. But yeah, this is going to be like money when shit hits the fan, y'all. Snickers. Look, they got Snickers. You can use some Snickers like cash. Hey, I bet during the whole thing, we could have used some toilet paper maybe. The toilet paper's in here. Look at this. Toiletries. Good old toiletries. What do they call them? Luxury toiletries, they say. Toothpaste, mouthwash, things of this nature, little travel size things. And then look, it's what you talked about, your prescription medications. Coffee is on the list. That's another one. That's right up there with smoking and drugs. Coffee, that's another great barter item to have. So the shit hit books. They're saying even books are a good barter item. So there you go. So there's like, they call that the top 7 barter items there, Shawnee.
No, that's great. I like that. That's very true.
Yeah.
Those things are going to be in demand after shit goes down. You know what I mean? I want to say this too. You have to be willing to accept the fact that there are some things you're not going to be able to survive. Super volcano. If Yellowstone blows up and it does its thing, if the jet streams stay what they are, we're not going to make it. We're going to be covered in ash. Bobby, you and I will be for sure dead. The West Coast might make it, but you and I are going to be gone. Full scale nuclear attack. If everyone starts going beep 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 beep, you're not going to make it. It's
right,
and you wouldn't want to. In either of those things, you wouldn't really want to. Asteroid hits the Earth. It killed off the dinosaurs, supposedly. So, I mean,
and so that's the whole thing about being prepped. It's like when you consider all this, Shawnee, it's like, what level do you prep for? Do you prep for the eventual collapse of the food system? Do you prepare for some of the things you're talking about, like some of the things you might not even survive? So you might spend the majority of your life and time gathering all of these things to prep, ultimately just to have a comet like Hillis and just just wipe us all out. And then
it is a crapshoot. It is, but here's the thing that I like to think about is the fact that if you're prepared for everything that you can survive, and it's not those few things that will wipe out all of mankind, then you're gonna survive, or at least you have a shot to.
Yeah, because some people I know we talked about, I might be you might not be able to call what I have prepping. It's just having a little extra food around. You might be prepped, but people are prepped on so many different levels, and you see some people get consumed with it, Shawnee, to where they no longer have like a regular life or existence. Like prepping becomes their life for a lot of these people, from what I can tell.
Yeah, I had a hard time with that at one point. Right around like the 2012 time frame. I was balls deep into this and was like afraid to go anywhere. And I had to reel back and say, okay, once it didn't occur, once 2012 wasn't the end of the world, unless it was, and we're just in hell now. I don't know, but
was that the Mayan calendar one or whatever? There's supposed to be a couple ends
of
the world. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. So I had to put it in check, sort of
yeah.
I couldn't all in prep. I had to keep a foot in each world, I guess, if you will.
That seems to be a tricky
now. So
that's cool. That seems to be a tricky part of it, because I respect the prepping mentality, and I can see where all of these things might lead to us needing these things one day, but I don't want to get so consumed in it that it's my life and I really don't have no other existence other than just constantly thinking about the end of the world and prepping. So
yeah, because if you fully believe that the end is near, you're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to leave your house.
Right.
You'd be afraid to go to work because what if I'm away from my stuff? It leads you down a road that you have to stay here and not veer all the way left. You know what I mean? But so there I do keep in my car, I keep a get home bag. Which
I hear
is
bug out bag a lot. Bug out bag.
Yes. So bug out bag is not the same thing. Bug out bag is a bag you're gonna take and you're gonna try to get to wherever you're trying to get to. Where not home destination is. Does that make sense? Like you're gonna get in your car and you're gonna drive in somewhere. Like
your bug out location. A lot of people have bug out location, undisclosed locations. You grab your bag and you run for your shit.
So they have bug out vehicles. They have a bug out bag that's got their personal things in it. Mine is more of a get home bag because I'm trying to get home. I mean, I guess I probably gave up too much just even saying that, but and so some of the things you want to keep, some of the things that I keep in mind is like some water, snacks, some dry socks, first aid kit, some cash, and couple of some sort of like a weapon. I also keep like a rain poncho and one of those like emergency space blanket things, those like foil ones, just in case. You don't know where you're gonna end up. Like if I'm at work and like if your job's like an hour drive from home, and then you've got to get yourself home to walk, that could be hours, several, maybe more. I don't know. Depending on the terrain that you drive across to get there, and depending on what's going on. If there's riots somewhere, if you work in the city,
right,
and you have to walk around gangs or groups or whatever that are going fucking mental, you might need to go the long way home, is what I'm trying to say. So it's good to have a few things on you.
Hey, Shawnee, I had a question for you.
Yeah, buddy.
Out of all the things you said that you need to prepare for, how many of those things do you have? Like, do you have pretty much everything that you've discussed, or there's things that you should have right now that you don't, or?
I don't want to give away too much, but I've got a lot of things to prepare myself. Fishing poles and fishing hooks and lures and all that stuff to hunt with. Seeds. Yeah, I mean, like I have a lot of I'm gonna go through some of the things, some of the stranger things that I have. I have a few things here with me tonight that I will go through.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what you got. You said you had some shit, so I want to see what you got. Yes.
Yeah. Here's one of the things that I see a lot of, and I hear a lot of when I talk to folks about this, is they think that I've got guns. I'll just take whatever I want. And
I saw that in the chat when somebody said, "What if I don't need medicine because I have guns?" Well, a lot of people have guns, Shawnee. So what do you think about that?
Well, yeah. So if your whole game plan is I'm just gonna roll up with guns
on everybody,
take what I want.
Yeah.
Most of the people that prep and store stuff like that are in that world also have guns and are prepared for you.
There you
and
go.
They know their land and their house better than you.
Mm-hmm.
And unless you've got a group of like 50 plus, you're not going to get too far just raiding stuff. You know what I mean? As a one-man gang or 2, 3, 4 guys, you might catch somebody off guard and steal their shit.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to get very, 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 very far like that. You know, like that's like saying, you know, like, I ran out of gas, so I'm going to carjack my way home. It's like, that just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like you're going to get caught at some point. Your game's going to be up.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. Hello? Hi. I don't know what my computer just did, but
it's one of those kind of nights.
It is very interesting. They don't want us to get this out there. Did I see some more chats come in? There was some more super chats. Korean Idol Shu Ju. I got that. Live in mountains. Amazing how much stuff is stashed up here. Is it? I'm assuming that's her or his. I can't tell that.
Yeah, I've seen a couple comments coming in there.
He or she, but
yeah, I can't tell either. They said there's a lot of stuff stashed in those mountains, though.
Vito Bandito 7453. I got a water bottle and a Twix. Is that enough to live?
There you go.
Yeah, for like 3 hours. Sure, buddy.
Thanks, Vito.
Shawnee, are my repopulating the earth skills
he's going to procreate. Useful? That's his contribution.
I don't know if semen is enough to get you by, but hey, that's a funny thought.
Well, depends on what town you get caught in.
Yeah, that's true.
Not again. That freeze again? Is that me? Oh, that's not me this time. There you go. Oh shit.
It was on this end.
Now it's shut. Oh my goodness. Sober Shawnee will be back in a minute. I guess he's having the same issues I was. But yeah, these barter issues are here you go. I'm here by myself. But one of the things they tell you during the bartering thing, which is kind of key, is that when you go to barter, you might want to go to a neutral site and do it, and don't make sure you're not followed or anything, because they talk about how people might turn that way and like, oh, well, if you got some shit, you got enough to barter, you might have some other stuff I like, and so they were cautioning you, hey, you're having a Bob issue tonight. Hey, bro, what's up? Your turn.
Yes. What were you saying? I heard something about bartering. Sorry.
My last point that I was talking about while you were coming back was they caution you when you go to barter how you should do it wisely, bro, and don't go by yourself and go to a neutral location and make sure you're not followed back, because people, they show up, they think if you got enough to barter, you might have enough to take.
That is true, and I also advise you to store your stuff. Okay, so let's say you're going to save 50 pounds of rice.
Mm-hmm.
Don't put 50 pounds of rice all in one big tub.
No.
you're better off to put 50 pounds of rice in, 10 5-pound pails or 50 1-pound pails, whether it gets compromised if a rat gets in and chews through the tub, or if it's just a bad seal and that tub goes bad, or if you need to trade it, you can trade a small amount of rice and they don't see that you have a 50-pound pail of rice.
You've obviously done some good thinking through about this. Yeah, I see somebody in the chat, Bob Last Smoke, says grow your own food. And that's one of the things you touched on, like have something that's sustainable that you can kind of keep like reproducing, because if the shit hits the fan long term, that sustainability is going to get you through probably a little longer.
Yeah, and you know what I mean, like get chicken, goats, rabbits are delicious. I mean, I know it's not widely. I grew up with a lot of Portuguese kids, and that was something they ate a lot of, and it's tasty meat. But I know they're cute and all, but they also taste good. And that leads me to this too. So pets. So everyone's got, cats, dogs, whatever.
Another thing.
And the truth of it is, at some point they're going to become a burden. You've got a certain amount of dog food. You've got a certain amount of cat food. Or
I don't care. I love my Fifi, and I'm taking my Fifi to the end with me. I don't care. You're going to have people that are like that, right, bro?
Yeah, yeah. But here's the thing. You need to be able to decide when it's time to take out that pet and then you utilize it as food for yourselves to sustain yourself. And I know that sucks. I know
day
that's
50,
like
you might not be loving that cat as much.
And I know Beth Stern's not going to love this, but you need to know when that cat, all those cats that you keep, eventually going to drag you down. I mean, they might be able to afford to buy 10 years worth of cat food. I don't know, but if they're not buying that much cat food, eventually those cats are going to be eating the food that you need to stay alive. And the cat's only going to live for so long to begin with. So rather than starve that pet and have it deplete itself, you're better off to eat that pet while it's still fully.
Yeah, as morbid as that sounds, if you get down to that dire situation, that probably is a consideration you're going to have to consider.
It's just what it is. You know what I mean?
It is what it is.
It is what it is. I'm sorry. Rabbit meat will leave you rabbit starved. It provides protein without fat or carbohydrates. Well, all meat doesn't have carbs in it. Come on, guy. Your stomach is full, but your body is malnourished.
Just put some hot sauce on that sucker. It'll be all right. It'll be all right, Tom Gully.
Yeah, well, you eat it with some. I'm telling you to store some rice and beans and things. Like, you eat it with some rice and beans, dude.
I like that one below it too. If you can put that one up, Blummel's the voice lure. They have a comment.
I wish I would have listened to my uncle more. He knew how to skin a squirrel. There you go, and actually prepare the meat to eat. I thought it was stupid when I was a kid, but now I wish I would have listened.
Yeah, I think a lot of us can relate to that. We had these older relatives that did these kind of what we thought were crazy, outlandish things. But when you get a little older and you get a little wiser and you see how the world actually works, not so crazy and wild. And I kind of wish I knew some of those more fundamental things too, Sean, if the shit hits the fan. I can't skin a squirrel for shit neither, so I wouldn't be no good.
Squirrel meat's good for like a stew. Like it's a little more tough to eat just straight up. You wouldn't want to like fry it, but you throw it in a stew and it breaks down. Like hens. If you've got hens and like one's like gone past its egg-laying phase, and it's getting older, that meat starts to get like stringy and tough.
Yeesh.
You want to throw it in a soup.
I used to see on Duck Dynasty, they would eat the squirrel stew a lot of times, and they would talk about eating the brains, bro. I can't get down like that. But here, these people are living in modern times, so they're actually ready. If this shit hits the fan, they're like, I go out and scoot that squirrel, make me some squirrel stew, eat some squirrel brains, bro. And I'm like, there's gonna be some steps for me to get there. Let me tell you.
Bob, you and I say we wouldn't eat squirrel brains as we came home from work and had food made for us or whatever. You buy food at the store and you're eating shit. If you don't eat food for 3, 4, 5 days, squirrel brains start to sound pretty fucking good.
It's gonna be like those Looney Tunes cartoons when you look at somebody and you see like a steak or something. Imagine it'd be like that.
Yeah, right, exactly.
You look like a steak, boy. Damn.
Yeah. So as far as like the canned goods and the drugs, it's very important to know what's like the use by or the sell by date. If there's a sell by date on like something from the store, which is usually on meats and things, that means you don't use it beyond, like, I wouldn't give it more than a week beyond that and it's trash. Or like a use by date. They're really specific about that. If it's a best by date, they put that on Doritos and soda. I mean, soda's going bad. No, it's not going bad. It's gonna lose its optimal flavor. It's not gonna be as good.
Right. And that's more of interest to them. Yeah.
Yeah. So you see like an old, oh shit, I got thrown away because it's the date's bad.
Right.
So then they can sell you more soda.
You're not wrong. Yep.
You know what I mean,
wrong, brother. Yep.
But I would like to touch on some things that have gone on. So some real events that have gone on. So New York City has had several blackouts that shut a lot of things down. The last one was in the 2003, 2005, something like that. There was one that was not that long ago, and it shut everything down. And you know, like that's a crazy situation, because if that goes on for more than a few days, shit starts getting real.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
Hurricane Sandy shut down a major part of Long Island. Like, they weren't getting gas. Like, they couldn't. There wasn't gas at the gas station.
Yeah,
they were trying to go, and there would be hours long waits, and you could only get a little bit of gas. And it was like, you're gonna waste all your gas to get a little bit of gas just to get you home. Like, and the food wasn't coming. The trucks couldn't fuel up, so they weren't getting food at their stores. Like, it was bad. Hurricane Katrina, we all know that. I mean, that was a literal shit show, because the storm surge caused the sewerage to come float up into the streets. Like, there was shit in the roads. Japan's tsunami killed a couple thousand. And sorry, Bobby, I was just going through some things that have gone on. And you want to know what one thing that I found out in this that I didn't realize before. Remember the Texas freeze? I think it was like 2012, maybe, that actually went on.
You talking about when they got the unseasonably cold weather down there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And it lasted for like 3 days, and a bunch of people died from like freezing to death.
Yeah.
So Texas is not known to getting that much cold, so they don't have like oil burning furnaces, propane, or gas, or whatever, like we have up here. It's electric. Electric heat for the little bit that they generally need. And so this big storm comes in, they get freezing cold, everyone's turning up their heat, they go cranking on their heat. And the grid can't take all that heat. They were like 4.5 minutes away from the entire grid going down, because there was a series of fail safes in that time frame that it was like the grid and like mankind had to like start to shed So they had to shed customers to lower the burden on the system, and they came like 4.5 minutes away from it. It would have gone one after the next.
Just knocked them all out.
Cascaded across the U.S.
That's bad.
We could have been in a fucking situation right then and there. It would have been 2012. I think it was 2012 that was, or maybe 2015. I forget the year now, but that was really a very close situation.
I think that's one of the times when you can really relate to that survivalist instinct kicks in. Like there's something about when the lights go out around here, you realize instantly how much you rely on electricity for every little thing we do on a day-to-day basis. But then when you go in that survival mode, when you got to go get the batteries and the flashlights and everything, it's like you have to go into like a whole nother mode when these blackouts occur, and you have to be ready for it.
But one of the things too that I store a lot of matches.
Wow. That's pretty old school.
I've got bags and bags and bags. You seal them up in a. Okay.
So I probably have a couple like of those butane click lighters and everything, but I don't know if I got old school matches. But yeah, what kind of items you got? Yeah.
So, we'll get into the movies.
Okay. All right. Whenever you want to do it. I don't mean to mess up your order.
No. I'm saying we're gonna get into some of the stuff.
Cool.
So, I have a bag here, and there's 20. Oxygen eater bags.
What is that? What do they do, brother?
So what you do is let's say you store a tub of rice, right? So
okay, those things.
I've got I have this tub here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it previously had cashews in it, and something like this. You can take this. Clean it. You want to run it through a dishwasher. One of the things you want to keep a lot of too, you want to store is bleach. So you take the easiest way. You take some cold water and some bleach. You swish it around in here. You rinse it out again. Sterilize it. It's got a cap that screws on. And
okay. So you keep those little. So you do your own kind of canning with that, I guess, a form of canning, and you put those little packs, I guess, you have in one of those?
You squeeze it tight, you put rice, beans, whatever.
Okay, cool.
Pasta. You throw one of these in it. So, an oxygen eater basically is like one of those like hot hands, the hand warmers.
Yeah, there's little silicone packs, if you will, right?
Well, it's like a little baggie that you put in your pouch, and like it warms your hands up.
Yeah,
because it's like iron and is it magnesium? I forget, but as it's exposed to air, i.e., oxygen, it warms up and it makes your hands warm. But it also is eating the oxygen that comes in contact. Mm-hmm. So you put one of these, and you can buy these online. I don't even know how many of them I have. I have a lot of them.
Really?
But yeah. Cool. So anytime you are gonna bag stuff or can stuff or whatever, well, I wouldn't can it with wet goods, but with dry goods, if you're throwing it into my bags are the best for long term, but I have a ton of like tubs like this. I buy a bunch at like Walmart 1 gallon tubs, and you screw them on tight. It's basically airtight, and
that's a good reuse for those kind of jars. I get some food in those kind of jars.
Absolutely, and glass jars. If you buy you buy jars like big jars like pasta sauce, pickles, or anything else. I guess it starts with a P. I guess you could have a big jar. Throw one of those in. You want to clean it good. You want to make sure it's clean. Sterilize it.
Look, our girl Stacy in the chat. She's bringing it. She's giving us the official term. She says it's called a desiccant.
Desiccant.
There you go. Thank you, Stacy.
I've been called that too, but
I don't
think they meant it that there. I don't think they meant it that way. Did we have a chat or two come up? I wanted to. Korean, I'll Shuli Ju. We we find stashed going back to the 1800s. That's interesting.
Wow.
I want to know where.
I think he said he lived in the mountains. I don't know what mountains, but it's some type of mountains.
Yeah.
Hey.
Brian Clark calls walk.
That guy, yeah.
Squirrel brains. Sorry. I made myself laugh. Squirrel brains taste like water, BF.
Really?
Really?
Yeah,
Does it really taste like water?
That's there. He's busting my chops because I get accused of drinking water on replayables, bro. That's my replayables, bro. Brian Kowalczyk. Thanks, bro. How you doing?
Erica Ann, how are you?
Yeah.
Shawnee, any comment on Bob Levy's plan to hide the roof during a zombie invasion? Yeah, I think Bob's onto a. Bob's got it going on. He knows what's what. What's a match, right?
There you go. See, exactly.
Yeah. So they sell like wet matches. I mean, that can strike. You can strike them when wet, which cost a lot more. I which I have some of those too. I have those in my get home bag, but in my storage bins, I didn't bring a bag of them in, but I've got a gallon Ziploc bag with a bunch of matches in them, like match boxes, like the big ones, like the big slide out ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember the old school matches.
Yeah, and they last forever. If you keep them dry, they last forever. I wouldn't put one of these oxygen bags in them, because if there was a compromise and they got hot and you have the matches right there, that could cause an issue.
I wouldn't
do that.
So talking about Bob Levy, I had that clip you talked about. You were watching something on Bob Levy this week that you kind of liked, right? We can play it. I can play it up for you right now. You want to check it out? We'll talk about it.
All right. Yeah.
Bob letting those birds
do the audio
talking. That's right.
Exactly, man.
Right. They're happy.
It's a great sign. That means that the pool will be open soon and everything is good. And I'm so looking forward to it. And today, just, you know what I mean? It's the icing on the cake.
Do you try new
like
things, Bob? Or do you try new things, or you just only eat what you know?
No, I make different things. I'm like, hey, this would be good. I gave her an idea. I said,
I can't wait. I know where this goes.
Potatoes yesterday, very tasty. Okay, and I said, it reminded me when I used to go camping with Bob from Wally's. He owned the comedy club in New Jersey. We go camping and that stuff, and it was the red potatoes cut up, a little bit. Nice, and you brown it, then you cook the bacon. You cook bacon.
Look at them two looking at him. They're like,
cut up a little bit nice.
Then you just dill weed, salt and pepper, and it's the most.
Speaking of dill weed,
you'll ever have.
There you go. So there you go, Shawnee. Yeah, man. You
red
said you saw.
Potatoes. No, I'm gonna make I'm gonna make some canned red potatoes, cut up a little bit. Nice.
Yeah, so tell everybody you contacted me and you said you were watching BS show and you were just kind of you thought that was like the funniest thing when you saw it.
Me. I don't know why, but that just fucking killed me. But yeah.
There you go.
Oh, that was good.
Bob will be all right. He has red sliced potatoes if shit hits the fan. He's got Gina. He partnered with red sliced potatoes from Gina. Shout out Bob and Gina.
Right on. All right. So so we haven't touched on any of this yet, but one of the big things to store up on is like soaps, first aid stuff, cleaning, dental. So I have here a dental toolkit. Well, it's not really showing up well, but it's like got the things that you scrape with, the little picks and scrapers and stuff. That's kind of somebody's gonna need to do that shit. You might get something jammed in your tooth that you have to get out.
Maybe
that somebody is gonna have to. Well, if not, it's gonna get inflamed, and then you're gonna be fucked.
That's true. Like, because prevention, noting that medicine, that's a great point, Shawnee. Because knowing that medicine is going to be not readily available, you're going to be wanting to be more proactive. That's a great point, brother.
So, a lot of canned goods, like you can buy a lot of like freeze dried foods and things. Like one of the ones that I've got here is a scrambled eggs
Damn.
tub. So like you can buy like they've got a bunch of different kinds. Spaghetti and meatballs. You dream it. They've
Wow.
got them. They've got
Wow.
hundreds of types of that kind of thing.
So you add water to that concoction in there, and you get like a mix of kind of.
I think what you're trying to say, Bob, is that yes, you add some hot water to that, and it'll be something similar to scrambled eggs and bacon. Yeah, it'll be close to that.
I guess in a pinch, there's worse things you could eat.
Yeah, well, you know what?
Like
It's
squirrel.
protein. It's protein. It's food. It's something to put in your gut, and to make you not want to like die all the time. So when it comes to what water purification is a huge one. So you're gonna want to be able to collect your rainwater. You're gonna want to be able, like, if there's a stream or pond, lake nearby, you're gonna want to be able to take that, use it. If you used to have a pool, Bob would be able to take, what
Get out of my pool. I need that water to swim in.
Yeah. So one of the ideas is you have these little, I'm trying to get it so it doesn't shine up so much, but you've got water purification tablets that you can throw into a jug. Like you collect it in a 5 gallon pail, let's say. You throw that in it, it kills off what's in there that you don't want, the parasites and whatever.
Yeah. They have those cool straws on nowadays too, Shawnee, where you can buy just the straw and it'll filter
life
as you
straws.
drink it.
Yes. I have some of those too. But I also wanted to show you. So I've also got these water bottles, and they have a filter on here. It's got a stone inside. Thing weighs a ton. It weighs a lot. Well, where are we? Here we go. It weighs a lot.
Sure, that's not a sex toy. I don't know. Well, okay. Not yet.
It could be used for that too.
Right. When shit hits the fan.
Especially when you see this part, Bobby.
Uh-oh.
Boing.
Hi-oh. There you go. There you go. All right. Hey, in a pinch, man, a hole's a hole. There you go.
Well, they do say that.
They do say that.
So also, you want to get yourself something like this. So I've got a magical kit. That's got
Paging Dr. Shawnee.
So you've got got a bunch of your tools here, like your little suture.
That's my favorite Phil Collins song.
Stringers, suture. Sorry, this is like kind of came undone here. But you've also got that doesn't even show up at all because it's green. But never mind that. But basically, it's a stitching kit. Like if you got stabbed or you get cut really bad or whatever, you can stitch yourself up. And it also has got a skin stapler.
Ooh, I'm glad you said stapler. Ooh.
Yeah. But here's the thing too. A big thing to store up onto is feminine stuff. Tampons, great for stab wounds, gunshot wounds.
What can I get for this case of tampons? What can I get for this? Come on.
Well, it depends. If I'm stabbed or shot, then I'll give you. It depends. Yeah.
I was gonna say that's a good barter too.
Anyone that needs depends, you should just push straight out into the woods because they're not gonna. That, and you know what? That's actually a very, very valuable point to make. You gotta know when someone's dragging you down.
Ooh, yeah. Grandpa, I'm sorry, but we ain't got no depends for it, and I ain't wiping your ass, so you stay behind.
and you're gonna take the food from the youngins that need to try to live and propel.
That's true. Are we gonna feed his old ass? How much longer we gonna keep feeding his old ass over there?
I don't mean to go Samara on this, but it's one of those things. Have you ever
You're
seen
right.
that one?
No, I can't say
Midsommar?
that. No.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Well, that you should see it. It's weird and long but it's very good.
Yeah, I just saw your other movie that you recommended to me, right?
Yes, yes.
When we're ready to talk about it.
I watched Midsommar with my she's now 17. She was 16 at the time. Your old daughter, and there's a scene in that you'd be like, oh my god. I was trying to fast forward and it went all the way to the end of the movie.
One of those father-daughter cringe scenes, like, why am I watching this with you? Like, we shouldn't be watching this together.
Good. Not good.
Yeah, I hate when that happens.
I hit fast forward and it went. I must have done it like 3 or 4 times, and it went so fast it went all the way to the end. And then I had to restart it and like fast forward.
Find your spot and find the same.
And I come back into the sex scene, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And it was really weird. So I was like, oh my god, it was just bad.
You've probably been better off letting it play, but I have those urges too, where you're like, you just kind of sit there and cringe through it, or you fast forward through it. Yeah.
Watch it and tell me if I should have sat through that sex scene.
Not based on what you're telling me. No way.
Would have been fine if I was alone or with. I'd rather have been with my mom than been with my kid. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, even that. I don't know if I'd go for that.
That it would have been less weird. Nimrob.
So
Everclear has a ton of uses in a cyber. That's a good point. Something like that. You disinfectant, fire starter. Yeah, that's a great point. And that is I don't know how easy that is to buy. You don't see that like for sale a lot, at least in mass. I don't know. I mean,
you got to know somebody that knows somebody. Although, yeah,
I live in a state where everything's completely like locked down. So who fucking knows? We can't even have fireworks here. So I don't know. Yeah, it's fucking dumb. But there was another point I was going to make off of that, and I forget what it was. Everclear ruined it for me.
You got drunk off of it.
Yeah. Bobby. So there's some films that I went through in my head to think about, like some good films and bad films based on like end of the world type shit.
Yes.
So on my good list, there's a movie called The Road. Have you ever seen that? With Viggo Mortensen and nobody else. Charlize Theron's in it for a very short time, but wow, that's fucking brutal. That's a brutal reality film. It's like it's like a post-nuclear kind of scene. It's that's fucking brutal. Basically, there's a guy and his kid that are trying to like traverse this world that is totally gone south. It
sounds Mad Max-ish, if you will, for lack of a better way. It sounds like
it's kind of worse.
I saw Beyond Thunderdome recently. I thought that was I like going back and watching that in hindsight. That was a good
one. That was
Tina Turner was badass.
2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
Yeah, 2 men enter, 1 man leave. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. Yeah, that was cool. It was a good ass movie.
Who runs Barter Town?
Yeah.
Master Blaster
runs Barter Town. Yeah.
Not shit. Energy. But,
right. Pig shit. Yeah, that's a good movie. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch that Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome with Tina Turner.
That is a very good one. I haven't seen the newest one, the Fury Road one, but I saw the old ones, all 3 of the old ones. Actually, I used to have the dog. I used to have the dog from the movie. I had a dog like the one in the movie, in the Road Warrior. That was the second movie, right? Mad Max was the first one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then Road Warrior, and then Beyond Thunderdome.
Yeah, I think
so that dog with like the dog with the spots.
Mm-hmm.
That was in that one. I had a dog like that. Yes.
Did you?
Yes, Australian cattle dog. I loved him. He used to love to sit in chairs like a human would, but his legs would like hang off of the
Really?
chair and everything. Yeah,
That's cool.
So another good. Have you ever seen the movie Contagion?
You know, I can't. I want to say I definitely recognize the name Shawnee, and it might be a blur. I can't say 100% that I remember if I did, brother.
Matt Damon wasn't Matt Damon. I think it was Matt Damon and what's that blonde chick that was married to the Coldplay guy?
Oh yeah, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yes, she's in. It's very good and it's scary because that's how like a real like pandemic would work. Like pandemics generally, the fear of them is that they kill everything that it comes in contact with, unlike certain other ones. Not saying that there wasn't any death, but it was like Ebola. If Ebola ever became like worldwide, that's terrifying.
Yeah,
because it's got a kill rate of like 80%, and you're bleeding through your eyes and out of your ears and shit. Like it's fucking scary. You're throwing up. You're vomiting your insides.
So it was a feel good movie. You're saying? That's what I don't know.
Yeah, kinda. This is a good one. Into the World of 12 Monkeys, which we brought up last week.
12 Monkeys. I was going to jump and bring that up. Yeah, that was a good End of the World kind of movie.
That was a very good film. I also like Red Dawn of the 80s.
The OG Red Dawn.
Yeah, the OG. Because it deals with it. I know now it seems insane because the Chinese in that time were on our side and we're getting invaded by Venezuela or Cuba or whatever. So it doesn't seem very realistic in that respect, but it at the time, at least kids who were my thing keeps getting fucked up over here, but kids of that time of the 80s who lived out in the Midwest like that could hunt and they could survive. And it's realistic in the fact like they're being kept from their mom and dads and they're trying to deal with it all. And there's a very human part of it. And it's really good to think about, like, like how things would go down in that kind of a time frame. Some of the ones that I don't like so much, as far as world ending type things, is the movie 2012 with what's his face, who's in that, John Cusack was in that one.
Was it John Cusack? Yeah,
I think so. It's like catastrophe, and they're just like in the nick of time for everything. It's nick of the time, and they're like, the plane just gets off right at the right time. Oh, thank God, the plane got off at the right time.
One of those movies where
and it's like
they set you up, and then boom, everything just is okay. Huh?
Yeah, it's like every step of it. It was just so bad. I love this guy Daniel Poon says Wolverines.
That's the Poon Man.
Fuck yeah, Poon Man.
Poon
Thank you,
Man.
Daniel Poon. Yeah.
What's up, Poon? Erica Ann. She says 2012 was the worst movie ever. She agrees with you.
Oh yeah,
it wasn't that great.
It had potential, but then they fucked it all up. Like, and as Hollywood always does, they just fuck things up. They don't. They just shit all over things. So Outbreak, I didn't really like Outbreak because it's like they set it up as, okay, the shit's going down, and then, oh, we figured it out. Let's go fix everything. They're good.
They took you on a ride. You thought it was going to demise, and then at the end they kind of swerved on you.
It just instantly turned, and then they figured it out, and they're like, "Oh, everything's good now. We're cool. No problem.
Never mind."
Kind of, yeah. It's like, oh, crisis averted. Kind of like Independence Day, when they can't figure out jack shit, and Goldblum is like pissed drunk and he drinks a sip of coffee, and suddenly he's like so sober enough to solve this is how we're gonna win.
This is what we're gonna do.
And then it works. And they're like,
it's end.
Like, come on, man! Like, you set this up as this impossible scene, and now you're gonna just instantly solve it. Like, you know what I mean? I just don't.
Too easy.
I don't like
a little too easy. Yeah,
it comes across like lazy writing.
Mm-hmm.
So also in the bad scene, in the bad department, I have Red Dawn 2012, because let's face the facts that kids these days, if shit really hit the fan, I know they're all, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna, I can kill anyone online in their games.
Yeah.
And you see some of them nowadays, more so now, but in 2012, this wasn't the case. Kids are starting to pull more guns. So, maybe they would be. But I think, like, long term, like, if things were going down, they're not going to have the resiliency to maintain themselves after the first few days.
Yeah,
they're gonna lose their they're gonna lose their toughness. They're gonna pretend they're tough for a few days, and then
it'll fade after a couple days. The
after they can't get online and post their videos about their, I shot a guy, and then they're gonna start going, oh fuck, I don't know what to do.
And I worry for them, Shawnee, because we grew up in a generation where we went camping, we were exposed to outdoors, and at least kind of being away from our electronics. But I do wonder what these younger kids will kind of do when they have no experience of being outside and they're totally only used to an electronic world.
Yeah, truthfully, and I've made sure that my kids camped and like know how to start fires and whatnot, and like.
That's good.
Not like within the home, but
understood. Yeah, but it's not anything
in
they're
an
a stranger
appropriate
to.
Situation. Yeah. So.
Right. If the shit hit the fan, if you had to go into camping mode, you'd be able to cope a little bit.
Yeah. So then there's a film that's like kind of like in between. It's good and it's bad, and it's the newer film, Leave the World Behind.
Ooh, yeah.
Which I know I said to you to give it a look at, because
you did.
It's. In some ways it's really good, and in some ways it's really bad. Like, it ends like spoiler alerts if you haven't seen this.
Yes.
And you want to
did I go again?
Witness it for yourself. Tune out now, because I'm going to discuss it. What's that?
You froze for a little bit, and I was wondering if it was me or you this time, brother. That's okay. You're good.
Okay.
So yeah, spoiler alert.
So spoiler alert on Leave the World Behind. I like the way it starts. It starts with it's a very slow burning type of film, where it builds and builds and builds and builds. And basically the GPSs get hacked, and there's a lot. It's mostly like we're getting hacked by foreign somebody. We don't even know.
Exactly, and that was one of the things that frustrated me about the movie. But yeah, you said it kind of started slow with, it's kind of they're out in the country. But I don't know how much you want to talk about it. But yeah, it did kind of start slow. I agree with that.
It starts slow, and there's a lot of
filler.
There's a lot of filler. It starts slow and it kind of ends slow, but
yeah, just lots of scenes where they take like 30 seconds for the dialogue to start and showing these like elaborate camera shots. It seems like they could have like condensed some of that.
It just lingers a lot, but
it does. Yeah, it did.
The overall tale of it, though, is that so like the thought of it is that they're going to create anarchy. The phones don't work. The Wi-Fi is down. There's no TV. There's no this that. GPS gets all fucked up, and you see there's a cool scene with a boat that will crash on shore, because that was neat.
Yeah. It was a lot of these
and the cars, the auto.
That was cool.
That was neat.
Yeah. But it was kind of like all of these kind of like random scenes, like you said, the boat scene, and they didn't really get down to actually pinning it on any one cause that I could follow, Shawnee. They talked about the leaflets that were dropped out of the sky. They talk about knowing that that some of this was in the cards, like that everybody would turn on themselves. They said that was one theory. They said you cut them off from communication and things. So it seemed like they threw out a lot of possible theories, but they never like pinpointed it to any one particular act.
No, they don't. And you want to know what's? Did you take note that this was produced by the Obamas?
I saw that in the credits. I did notice that. I guess that's just more or less of a figurehead. They probably go, okay, we will let you make your movie. I don't know how much actual hands-on they are with the movie, Shawnee.
No, agreed. But just the fact that it was produced by a former president,
not something I've ever seen before,
makes you wonder. I mean, we've had former presidents that were in film, but I'm just saying, like,
yeah, it was. I found that kind of interesting too. It's not very often that a former president and first lady, you see their name attached to a movie. You know, a Hollywood movie.
Big Oaf has an interesting FEMA camps are really concentration camps. So there are a lot of camps that are being built, especially out west. And there's a disturbing film of one guy that goes. They're being built. He was in the last phases of the build, and there's locks on the outside of the door and not on the inside of the door. So like they could lock somebody in the house, and then there's ports on the outside, like that they could gas them. Like that's what his thought was.
Wow.
And it's a really disturbing idea that there would be a camp of homes, houses, small. You know what I mean? Like it's a.
Mm-hmm. Is it one of those trailer communities? Because I know FEMA does have like these
kind of sort of, but it's more of a house though. But
really, like little actual sheds and stuff.
And there's a port on the front where like a hose would click into, like a gas hose.
Interesting.
And there's not a furnace on the other side of that. It's like a vent.
Yeah.
And that makes me fucking like, what the fuck is that? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things that's online, and it scares the shit out of me because
but anything ran by the government is effectively going to be like a concentration camp, you know.
Yeah. And boom, Terry Nee fucking nails it right here. Excellent. The book 1 second after he's got a few books. William Forstchen. Oh my God, so good. The truth be told, I was leaning towards this world, and I read that book, and it cemented me in it. I couldn't put it down. I read it in like a long weekend. It's one of those books that you get into and you just instantly you're like, I gotta get to the end of this.
That's so cool. Thank you, Terry Nee.
That's a very good book, and he's got a few of them. There's a 1 year after, or I know 1 year is one of them, but I think he's got 3 books in that one. He's also got a book about like a possible like terrorist plot that I've read that one too. That was very, very good.
Very cool.
Yeah,
but
hi. So Bob will be right back. As far as I'll wait for Bob for that one, but hi Bob.
Hey man, sorry about this.
Hi.
That's what's going on in my area. What's up? Hi.
I have no idea what's going on tonight, guys, with that. It's crazy.
Yep.
It is a weird scene. Bob, have you seen that? Andy. Have you seen the ads for the new film Civil War?
I can't say that I have, Shawnee. No.
Look it up when you're done here. Like,
yeah. There's yet another new Civil War movie. What's it about? I guess Civil a lot of what we're talking about, right?
It's set in like today's time frame where states start to secede, like similar-ish to what's going on right now in Texas, but it's like more like wide scale. And it's pretty. It seems like it's almost like a foreshadowing of things to come. And I mean, and that's another civil unrest is one of those things that you should also be prepared for, because that could, I mean, this year we're going to be having an election, and we know how things went down after the last one. So, I mean, there's definitely, it could come to pass that one side doesn't get its way and freaks out, like we've seen it. You know what I mean? Like it's a real thing. So, I mean, anyone to me, anyone that's that concerned about right or left is they're kind of
they're missing what's going on in the middle.
they're not seeing what's going on. Yeah, they're too consumed with looking over here or looking over there, like you said, to see what's really up. So, yeah, I don't know.
So that was your last movie recommendation. So we talked about talked about that one real quick. That was the one you recommended to me. But you like that book that you also like that book that Terry and me recommended. You were touching on that. Yeah, 1 second after.
Yes, there's also another one similarly themed called Lights Out, which I've been reading, but I'm not done with yet. But it's similar. So, 1 second after, there's an EMP attack against the U.S. and there's this guy who's in his hometown. Well, I think it's his hometown, but he lives there now. But it's like South Carolina, maybe, and it's in this little town that's kind of like remote, hard to get to, and so cell phones stop and the cars don't work, and they have to find their way, and like it's all like, and he's got a kid with he in fact he has a child with but not diabetes. What's the other one?
Not sure.
Fucking, I don't know. Now I'm like drawn. Like, his kid needs insulin. What's what do you need when you need insulin?
That's for diabetes, right? Yeah, when your blood sugar's low, right?
Okay, it is. All right.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
All right, so I fucked up, but
you were on it.
So yeah, it was type 1 the kid's got. So they need to store this in a cold place. So he's going down. He begs for some at the store, but then they run out, and like it's all about like how things devolve. Like when you don't have toilet paper and the soap to clean yourself, and like wounds get, like you get a wound that starts to get infected, and there's no drugs to cure it, and you don't have the soap or the means to clean it out with. That's why, like, one of those things, like I prescribe, you store some soap, you store some first aid things, hydrogen peroxide, and rubbing alcohol. Go ahead.
They say 1 ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, right? And especially important in a situation like that when there isn't going to be much medicine around. Just something as simple as like keeping your wounds clean. You make a good point, bro. Yeah. All right. Well, we've been at this for like an hour and a half now, bro. It's like 10:35 here, so probably should think about pulling a train into the station soon.
All right.
You have any last comments? We want to read some comments and any last things you want to get to, brother.
Anything good out there? Hey, fellas, love the Seany Zone. Thank you, Blummel's divorce lawyer. Blumpkin's divorce. Seany rules. Thank you, Don.
There you go. What else we got going on? Don. Big Ove.
Maximum Overdrive. That was an excellent film. I love it. You know what? That's one of the Stephen King ones that I like, that I know he didn't care for. So he made them make trucks. Okay, so do you know Stephen King? We talked the other week about the Shining.
Yes.
How he didn't care for that.
Yeah.
So he did his own. So he didn't. So Maximum Overdrive
Easy for you, sir.
Maximum Overdrive is based on the short story that he made called Trucks.
Okay.
And he didn't really care for that. You know, it was good. It had not Charlie Sheen, but the brother Emilio, yeah.
Okay.
And it had the girl who plays Bart Simpson was in it, that Yardley Smith or whatever her name is.
Yeah. Wow.
But so King didn't like it, so they remade it, and it's called Trucks.
Trucks. Okay.
I dare you to watch it. It is so bad. It's actually it's funny how bad it is.
Damn.
There's a remote control car that kills a guy.
Nice. Almost sounds like a Christine thing, almost Christine vibe. Stephen
Stupid.
King as a wacko. West 11 Bravo says, "Oh, look at that Bugouts.
I agree. Love the show, guys. FSJ. Well,
Thank you.
What does FSJ mean?
Fuck Stuttering John.
Oh, I agree with that. Yes. Stephen King is a wacko. That is true.
Yep.
That is very.
So,
very
Shawnee. So we're kind of at this place.
Stephen King is an icon.
Oh, there you go. He's a wacko
The
and
yin
an
the
icon.
yang.
But we're here at this kind of wild place. It's 2024 now, bro, and we run the risk of the kind of any of these things that we've talked about in the show happening every day. So, like, what were some of the finer points you kind of want to leave people? Some of the final points, like, what were the first couple of things you would tell them to do? Like, would it be like get physical cash, like to survive like the first couple of days? What are you trying to really get at here, and what do you think is like the most likely thing to happen soon? You think the financial stuff's going to break down, the food, what have you?
It's too hard to say what I think will be the first things to go, because there's so many things right now that could go wrong. I mean, like within this year, I mean, storms, terrorism.
I thought you said Ted Turner. I'm sorry.
Ted Turner could come back to life. I mean, you've got civil unrest and not even just like Trump Biden right left bullshit, but you could have, you know what I mean, like you'd have civil unrest over.
Over a number of things,
problems, or
social problems, or lack of food or stuff. Yeah, they're like all of this stuff seems to be boiling and coming to a head. So it
really does. It really does.
I think it's really key to kind of watch your banks, watch the habits, watch how often things break down. Like if like you talked about a couple weeks ago, where Verizon and many of the phone systems in the country were out for a little period of time one day, and I think maybe some of these things are going on. It could be an EMP or maybe an attack they don't want to tell people about. So that's what I look for. I look for trends where, like, all right, are these things breaking down regularly? Are the banks breaking down regularly? Are the phones breaking down regularly? Or the food supply? You know, I think you got to look for the clues in some of this.
There's a Twitter site. There's a Twitter. I'm trying to remember what it's called, but there's a guy on there that tracks like the storms, like solar storms.
Yes,
and
that can be a good way too.
Projected EMPs and like, you know what I mean, like solar flares of like. Every day he puts out like, this is what's with the sun, you know what I mean, like shows like how strong the waves and how
and they basically
like, get to Earth and all this.
It's like a weather report for the sun, for lack of a better way of putting it, and they'll let you know when the solar flares are more likely to occur at higher rates, and then therefore you can kind of look for the association on Earth if it affects your cable or your banking or things here on Earth, right?
Or your plane that you're on and you don't want to fucking crash and die. I mean, like it's you know. I'll post him on my Twitter feed this week, because it's interesting stuff. Like there's some real like it's useful stuff. Like you could really see things before they come. You could have a day or two in advance, you know, before shit goes down.
So right, have cash on hand, have some food on hand for a couple days or a week, whatever you can do. Watch these things happen. Look for these reports on solar flares, and just kind of have a general awareness. Is kind of all we can do. Just be mentally prepared as best you can. Shawnee, I think we had like a great super chat come in.
What happened? Erica Ann, thank you so much. Loving the show, boys. Keep it up.
Thank you. Loving Erica Ann. Thank you, Erica Ann.
That's
awesome.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Shawnee rules. We already saw
Shawnee
this
does rule.
But I mean, I agree with him, but you know.
But Shawnee does rule. I love hanging out here with Shawnee every.
Bob, I do want to say, folks, start if you can't afford to like dive deep into this and start, you can't hoard guns and things right away. Whenever you're at the store, buy some extra canned goods, buy some extra bag or two of rice, you can start small. You don't have to start balls deep into this. You can get yourself going on a slower scale. I mean,
yeah, there are levels to this. Like you said,
I mean, you don't have to. It's not like you have to like sell off all your stocks and bonds and cash out your 401k and like just invest it all in dry rice. I'm not saying that, but definitely keep it in mind when next time you're at the store and you're buying. Buy some, like I said, buy some cans of soup. Buy some, soup is great because not only has it got like protein and carbs and everything,
it's delicious,
but it's also fluid. So it kind of works on a couple different, I know
Absolutely.
It's the salt in it does dehydrate you some, but it's also got fluids to get you through. And SpaghettiOs, who doesn't love SpaghettiOs?
There you go. Terry Nee has a good idea. There's last comment there.
Okay, what is it?
Well,
thumbs up, clap.
Well, there's another one. It's actually
okay.
It's next to it's right above Pop Cube. We can read this one too. Yes, there you go. Horde horse.
Horde horse. I like
horse. There you go. He's got a plan for surviving.
That's the way to go. Chris Popkey, what are you doing, Chris?
What's up, Popkey?
Get yourself some food. Buckets, Bobby.
I think you're right because we talk about there's levels. I might be on a better level than somebody else, but there's plenty of people that are on. But look at that, I'm gonna have to get some powdered ass scrambled eggs. I gotta get my game tight, like my boy Shawnee here. Thanks for the $2 super chat, Popkey. Thanks everybody for their super chat love tonight. We really appreciate that.
Absolutely. Smash the like button and subscribe, like they say on all these dumb kids. Every page that you see. Shout out to Cartnarks. I still love that show. Cartnarks.
Easy for you to say. Very good.
Love that guy.
But all right, bro. How about why don't you throw out your Twitter there? You can catch up with Shawnee on social media on X if you need to. Go ahead, Shawnee.
Yes. At Not High Register. And yours, Bobby?
I'm just at @1BobStuff1. You can see me. You can find me under Bobby Fran on there. You can see me on there. But yeah, you can check us out. There's also a link in the Discord. There's a special Seany Zone hashtag link. So if you have any questions or ideas or thoughts and you're part of the Discord, you can go ahead and join that. And you can leave some information for us there too.
Yes, absolutely. And don't forget to tune into Shuley shows, Bob and all the boys. The BS show, what are the ones they do? Uncle Rico, all those.
The Blunder Years. You never know what they're going to do.
And don't forget to cut up your red potatoes. Cut up real.
What
nice.
He said.
Yeah.
Cut up your red potatoes. I believe that was. Yes.
Yeah. Real nice.
Be like Bob. Cut them up real nice, like Bob and Gene like them. Let's see. Stacy Allen, thank you very much for the comment there.
Stacy, thank you so much.
She's awesome. There you go.
She is great.
All right, Shawnee. Oh, thank you, Star Mountain. I appreciate all the love that I also get. This is Shawnee's show. This is the Shawnee Show. We thank you for joining us here every week. This is episode 5. It was Prepper. We hope you enjoyed it. Please join us here every Monday here for the Seany Zone. Shawnee, any last words, brother? We're going to wrap it up.
And please reach out to us if there's ideas that you want us to discuss.
There's
there's
touch me like you know me.
Yeah, there's always things that I've learned some things from you all that I'm very appreciative of. And if there's stuff that you want to hear more about, we're doing it one show at a week, so I can't get to them all right away. Well, we can't get to them all, but we're trying. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate everything, and we're trying to inform and save your lives.
Yep. All right. We got a couple last comments. It says Erica Ann says Shawnee is the man. I agree with that.
Thank you.
Quinn Do says right below says Sean, do you care when you do karaoke, do you stutter? We've talked about that.
When I sing, no. When I talk, yes.
There you go.
You know what? Bobby, as soon as that came up, so one time I was on a weird trip. We were down in Florida, and there was a karaoke contest, and I won second place.
Did you?
Yeah. And so when it was all done, they gave, because it was me against this one other guy, and so
it wasn't Fred the Elephant Boy, was it?
Oh no, that would have been so, I wish. Oh my god, that would have been so
Do
great.
you really want to hurt me?
When I did my Tom Jones, and then I did what's his name? Sweet Caroline.
Oh, Neil Diamond.
Not that song. I did Neil Diamond. Cherry, cherry, she got the way to move, man. Cherry baby. So I did that song too, and then I did 867-533-309 were my 3 songs.
That's a lot of extra numbers.
And yeah.
That'll get you a whole nother country.
I called Europe, yeah.
Inadvertently, there you go. Stacey Allen says, R.I.P. Fred. Never into head games. I don't do head games.
Fred was the best. I fucking love that guy.
Rest in peace, Fred. We featured him on BF Live today. If you could ever check me out every Monday,
nice.
12 to 3 East. And West Bravo says Slayer as the last comment. All right, Shawnee. Well, I think we had a good full show, bro. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us here in the chat. All the great chat family.
Bob, my point to that tale was, though, like, so I sang these 3 songs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
And everyone was like, yeah. And then they were like, who would you like to thank? And I'm like, my friends.
You started talking, and then your regular stutter kicked in.
And everyone just was like,
I would like to thank.
They all just couldn't believe it.
Like you had to ask, right? You had to ask him to thank people, right? There you go. You couldn't have just left it with the Neil Diamond song with Sweet Caroline.
So,
there you go.
Doubt. But yeah, so
all right.
That was funny.
All right, bro.
All right, so thank you all for being here tonight. Smash that like. Join us again next week, and we'll have something else fantastic.
In
the Seany Zone.
Yeah. Bye, everybody. We'll see you next week. Have a great week, everybody. In a world full of people who think life is a happy series of coincidences and trust the official narrative, some of us